Allah. And so why is that? Because it is written in our books that the last prophet will be an extremely tolerant person. I just wanted to see how tolerant you were. Now, obviously, he didn't have the right to do that, but he did. Right, so what I'm saying is that it doesn't matter who comes in front of you, if you have developed this resistance against pressure, and you have developed a certain level of tolerance, then you should be able to take most of what people have to throw at you, as long as you are not neglectful. If you are negligent, then it's a problem. But if you feel, mashallah, alhamdulillah, you've done everything to satisfy the criterion for this job and for this task, and then someone comes and tries to derail you, then you must withstand that pressure, and you must show your stamina. You must show your resistance. Stamina and resistance are almost the same thing. You must show that you're willing to see it through until the end. Right? And this is what is called in Islam, taking it to the end, the initiative. Yeah. So the Prophet ﷺ used to make dua sometimes and say, Alhamdulillah wa bi ni'matihi tatimmu as-salihat. Alhamdulillah wa bi ni'matihi tatimmu as-salihat. All praise is due to Allah, and it is out of His favor and ni'mah that all good deeds are completed. So if you leave something incompleted, that is not a gift from Allah. There's something wrong there. So the Quran says, Al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati. I have perfected deen for you, I have now completed my favor upon you. So initiating is good, but completion is better. Right? Initiation is good, they take the initiative, but completion is better. It is how you complete that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will decide what to do with you. Al-a'malu bil-khawatim, the Prophet ﷺ used to say. Actions will be dictated and judged by their endings. So if you've done something and on the way, things weren't so good, but you managed to finish in a good way, then that's a good deed. Right? You corrected yourself, you reformed yourself, you improved yourself, etc. So as a group, as a community, and maybe as a board, as a committee, we must appreciate, as I mentioned before, that as human beings we will make mistakes. But the objective is for the task to be completed. If we can focus on completing the task, then we might be able to overlook some of the mistakes and faults that we see in ourselves and we experience all the time. So that's also a test of your stamina and your resistance. Can you go all the way? So now, people do not like people who are very reluctant and hesitant, or people who are wishy-washy and they say, I'll do something, but they never follow through. You must be able to follow through and complete the chore, the task. So even at home, if you're going to say, I'm going to do this, you should do it. So the worst thing you can do to a child is say, I'm going to take you somewhere, and you don't take that child where you said you would. Because even the child realizes he doesn't see through what he says, so he doesn't take you seriously anymore. Oh yeah, right. I've heard that before. So likewise with Islamic work, the power that we have with stamina is that we will see things through. Now, as we're trying to see things through and complete the task, like mashallah, you initiated this tarbiyah program and you have come this far. You did 1, you did 2, and 3. Now inshallah next time you will complete the task. So that is initiative and completion at the same time. That's known in the Quran as istiqamah. That's the meaning of istiqamah, right? Istiqamah means you see the task through. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا رَبُّنَا اللَّهُ ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا. So istiqamah is at the end. How will you know whether you have istiqamah? Right at the end. وَعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيكَ الْيَقِينُ. How you finish. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Prophet ﷺ, you must worship your Lord until you die. It's no good saying that, oh, in Mecca, difficult times were there, so I worshipped Allah tremendously. In Medina, not so difficult times, so I will not worship Allah anymore. He didn't do that. He did the opposite. So when the ayah came down, Allah has forgiven your past and future sins, what did he do? Did he increase his ibadah or did he decrease it? He increased. And Aisha even commented, why are you increasing your ibadah? He said, oh, because I want to be a noble, good, humble servant. Someone who is thankful and grateful for what Allah has given us. So likewise with all the Sahaba, with the Ashra Mubashara, the Prophet ﷺ gave them glad tidings that they will go into Jannah, they saw it through. They didn't stop because Allah gave them a plaque of being in Jannah. He said, no, this is not what this is about. This is a test from Allah. I have to go forward and do much more. Right? So after you initiate something, you must see it through. And that is where you will need your stamina. It's in the last 2 or 3 hurdles that people usually fail. Last 2 or 3 steps. You heard the moral of the story, the hare and the tortoise, right? And the rabbit and the turtle. It's how you finish. It is not how fast you go in the beginning, is how you finish. So you must be able to finish. Most people, mashallah, when they take on a task at work or anywhere else where there is a hobby, then they see it through. And that shows that they do have the ability to do that. It's not that you start cooking something and you don't finish. You must finish what you started cooking. Otherwise that's not only a waste, but it will show that you're a fool. You don't know what you're doing. So being reluctant and hesitant, shall I not finish? That is not part of the Muslim repertoire, it's not part of a Muslim's thinking. I'm going to do this, I'm going to see it through until it is completed, inshallah. So the people who, mashallah, started this project of the masjid, they saw it through. So now you have a place where you can invite people and have functions and programs and whatever you want to do. But if the people who organized this place in the beginning all of a sudden said, no, I've run out of gas and steam, I'm tired now, I don't have stamina anymore, bahut ho gaya. It doesn't work that way. So you have to manage your own stress in the way the Prophet ﷺ said, take a positive approach to problems that you don't create. If a problem you've created, then you have to deal with it with yourself. But if problems are there that you have not created, then take a very positive approach to it and say, Allah, accept this effort from me. Because whatever you encounter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you for it. So if someone comes and objects, why did you have this tarbiyah program now? I had nothing to do with it and I don't want you to do it again or whatever, and you just hear him out. Sometimes it's best not to respond to critics. Sometimes it's better to just be quiet. Let it